something noted.
Check. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Carson-Newman University. Today's dual meet between the Emmanuel College Lions and your Carson-Newman Eagles. Every night at Carson-Newman University, with good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. Racial cooperation by sporting participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated. There are grounds removed from the site of competition. Also, the consumption of cigarettes and alcoholic beverages at the site of competition is prohibited. First, we have the more visiting squad, the Lions of Emmanuel College. The Lions are coached by Alan Gilchrist and assisted by Laura Gonzalez Ospina. And now, introducing number 7 in the nation, your Carson-Newman women's team. And at number 8 in the nation, your Carson-Newman men's team. The Eagles are coached by Jordan Taylor, assisted by Ben Young, Evan Pinion, Ksenia Maidanova, and Sarah Duarte Garcia. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the MSAC pool as we get started here. Women's 400-yard medley relay here inside the MSAC pool. Emmanuel College versus Carson-Newman. 4 Carson-Newman teams competing in this one, with the single Emmanuel College A team competing. The school record for this event for Carson-Newman set last year, 3 minutes, 41.41 seconds. Emmanuel Compagner was on that team. And it looks like in first place is that A team featuring Cecile Jensen. Right now in front of everybody. Second place is the Carson-Newman C team. And it looks like a battle for third between the B team and the D team as we get ready for the second leg. Here, the school record for Emmanuel College in the women's 400-yard medley relay is 3 minutes, 55.43 seconds, set in 2019. Meredith again up ahead for the Carson-Newman A team. She's trailed by the Carson-Newman B team's Chrisman Rand. Now her and Rand look pretty neck and neck. I'd give a little bit of a lead to Gen right now as they make the turn. And in third is the Carson-Newman C team with Mandy Chadwell. And a battle for fourth between Julia Simeone and Chrisman Rand. So we get set, and here come the third legs for both the A and the B team. Sankowski for the B team, Compagner for the A team, and it is a neck-and-neck battle here. You gotta wonder how competitive these events are. Last week, they come off the orange and blue inter-squad invitational. It was moved due to some postponements and some schedule adjustments due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and we were able to get that in. Always a fun, competitive time. We'll dive into that later on. A little bit slow right there for Compagner. A slower turn for Sankowski as well. But Compagner still in the lead as we get ready for the final leg. Into the pool first is Kennedy King. Kennedy King, a former was Bluegrass Mountain Conference Swimmer of the Week for the week of January 20th. And looking to see if she can build off that here. She won the women's 200-yard freestyle, the women's 100-yard freestyle, and was a member of the winning 400-yard relay team. And as of right now, looks like she's going to guide the Eagles A team to a win in this event as well. As Anna Tudor's the only one anywhere close to her. A little bit of a battle for that, and it will be King, 3 minutes, 55.07 seconds for the win in our first event. Second place is the Carson-Newman B team at 3:56.29. Third place is the Carson-Newman C team at 4:02.26. And at 4:07.46, the Emmanuel College A team. Brian White taking over on PA. So we'll let him introduce these teams. They'll get ready to go into the pool. Once again, 4 teams representing Carson-Newman here. Teams A, B, C, and D. And the Emmanuel College A team is in lane 4. As they'll go off the school record for Carson-Newman, 2:56.74. 2 minutes, 56.74 seconds. Rafael Lima, who has just been tearing up the pool this season, was on that team, and his team's doing so right now. A Chase Raymond, my goodness, came flying down from those last turns and makes another great turn. He is ahead very well. He's got the A team set for a very good pace. We'll keep an eye on that. The Emmanuel College A team, the Emmanuel College record was set in 2019, 2 minutes, 54.99 seconds. And Igor Breastroke was on that team as well. Igor Breastroke holds a lot of the records at Emmanuel College. As they'll dive in second leg, but everybody's behind this Carson-Newman A team, and Joey Klemmer is just pulling way ahead. 2 minutes, 56.74 seconds, and right now, we'll see what the time is when he hits the wall. He's at 1 minute, 16.76 seconds right now, so keep an eye on that. They have the speed in this back half with Nicholas Anuza and Rafael Lima. When Nicholas Anuza is maybe your slowest person on this team, that's a good team. That's a good team to have. Don't count out Emmanuel College just yet. They are fighting in it for second place. It's a big battle for second place as Lanuza dives into the pool. And Lanuza, just big strokes there. My goodness. He is just gaining in the water. Very impressive to watch this man swim. Very impressive to watch this whole team swim. They're ranked number 8 in the nation for a reason. Carson-Newman A team, I think now they're trying to set the record pace if they can. And it's going to be a challenge. Excuse me, I read the wrong record, so they will get a lot better time. The record is 3 minutes, 12.50 seconds, set in 2020. That was Andre Unger, Caleb Howell, Ivo Kunzel, and Chad Angelsek set that record. And they might get close to this one as Rafael Lima is in the pool now. And he's going to hit at under 3 minutes. 2 minutes, 56.55 seconds. 3:12.50 is the record. It's going to be close, folks. I don't think he's not quite going to get it. He's at 3 minutes and 8 seconds right now, making the turn. He would have had to get on his horse and would have had to go, but he will not set the record, but a very good time for the men's open 400 medley relay and to take the win. 3 minutes, 20.41 seconds. Now it's a battle for second place and for some points here. Carson-Newman has second and third locked up, it looks like, so Emmanuel College will get fourth, and that'll be second and third. So in second is the Carson-Newman B team, Nicola Taddick, Benaiah McDowell, Pep Castells, and Brandon Meyer. In third place, the C team of Clay Hardenbrook, Kevin Mewison, Hayden Williams, and Carson Jones. And in fourth place, the Emmanuel College A team of Alistair McGee, João Santos, Rodolfo Moreira, and Igor Breastroke. And finishing at the end is Devon Collins, Benes Diamandintis, Jack Rose, and Zach Tellep. That's the Carson-Newman D team. But 2 wins, 2 events as we get ready for the 1,000 yard freestyle. And we're going to keep on rolling here, so we'll get ready for the women's 1,000 yard freestyle in just a second. Women's 1,000 yard freestyle, the longest event that we usually host at this pool. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Say the least. The school record was set all the way back in 2015 by Lexi Raybon. This is for Carson-Newman. 10 minutes, 12.85 seconds. Rachel Payton, who is racing in this event, has 2 of the top 5 times, including the second fastest time of 10 minutes, 19.06 seconds. She is in lane 5. We'll go through the lanes. In lane 2 for Emmanuel College, Zuzana Malinowska. In lane 3 for Carson-Newman, Linda Ungerbeck. Lane 4 for Emmanuel, Paula Chinker. In lane 5 for Carson-Newman, Rachel Payton. And lane 6 for Emmanuel College, Maria Diaz. School record for Emmanuel College in the 1,000 was set by Audrey Johnstone in 2017, 10 minutes, 47.52 seconds. Very early on in this race is Ungerbeck and Payton setting the pace, both pretty much right next to each other. Slow and Steady wins this race for sure, followed by Schinker from Emmanuel College. In third and fifth is Diaz from Emmanuel College, and then Malinowska, excuse me, from Emmanuel College. Well, let's give you a little background of these teams while we have some time here. Thank you for joining us on the Eagle Sports Network. Last time out for Emmanuel College for the women, they're 6-2 this year. They had a quad meet, is how you call it. They had 4 events a couple of weeks ago. They took on Brunel, defeated them 425-244. Took on Point and defeated them 425-99. Took on UNC Pembroke and lost 481-425. This score is a real score, folks, and it's mind-boggling with the second stat I'll share. Emmanuel College women defeated LaGrange 425-6 a couple of weeks ago. They have defeated LaGrange. They have faced them twice in their entire history. Defeated them by a combined score of 807-10. I'm going to let that sit with you for a minute. 807-10. So to say Emmanuel College has LaGrange's number would be the understatement of the year. Last time out for Carson-Newman women's, well, it was the orange and blue inter-squad meet. The blue team, on the women's side won 118-92, but the orange team won the overall meet 214-206 to take a 3-2 lead in the series. In competition, the women are 2-1 and defeated Mars Hill a couple of weeks ago, 205-50. An absolutely dominant display here in the MSAC pool. Won every single event. That's very rare to see a team just sweep events. And Carson-Newman and Emmanuel both did that a couple of weeks ago in their respective meets. So this is a very good matchup. As Jordan Taylor said, this is a very good test for conference. Conference is in a couple of weeks. They still have Lee's McRae next week here in the MSAC poll. This is a very good test. This is going to be a very good test for Emmanuel College as well because they have conference coming up. This is the last meet before conference. Their conference meet is February 18th through 20th is the Conference Carolinas meet. The Lions were projected second in the Conference Carolinas, and they want to show that, hey, okay, there's a little challenge ahead of us. And they are taking on one of the best teams in the nation, their own pool at Carson-Newman. Get you a time up there as they get ready to make this turn. Very close now between Payton and Ungerbeck with Malinowska keeping it close as well. So we're just about halfway through the women's 1,000. Glad y'all could join us today. Of course, schedule has been, like with most things, interesting in 2020 through 2021, as both the men's and the women's basketball games today at Newberry were postponed due to a COVID-19 issue with the Wolves. So they will come. They won't play again until Monday with both basketball teams. The women are on the road at Anderson. That will be available to stream online, audio only, Michael Watring. Very fun matchup. The first time they met here in Holt Fieldhouse. It was the first game of the year for the Eagles, actually. Eagles ended up pulling away for the win. The men will host the Limestone University Saints. New team to the South Atlantic Conference this year, coming from Emmanuel's former conference, the Conference Carolinas. Once again, Payton and Ungerbeck neck and neck, just 0.44 seconds separate them. And then right behind them, not too far off, is Diaz from Emmanuel College. She has made a push here. She's about a second off, a little slower there, but if she can get a good turn, not a great turn. So that will set her back. Again, plenty of time left. None of the Emmanuel College swimmers today have a time set for this race. Same for the men's as well. Give me an update how this will go. There'll be 3 breaks today, about 15 minutes each. Our first break, I believe, is going to be after either event 6 or event 5. It's after the 200-yard freestyle. We'll take that break. Then we'll come back. And after event 15, the women's 100-yard freestyle, take another break. Then we'll take a break after the men's 500-yard freestyle. And then we'll roll on from there. So 3 breaks today. Kind of break it up with the pace, in between which we'll give you a score update. And we'll tell you how you can follow along with the Carson-Newman Eagles, whether it be at cneagles.com, on Twitter at CN Athletics, on Instagram. You follow us along on all of our social media channels and see what we have going on this week at the Creek. Ungerbeck and Payton really controlling the pace here. And it looks like Payton slightly ahead now. 8:25.08, 8:26.29 for Ungerbeck. As they have pulled away from Diaz. And now it looks as if Payton is starting to pull away from Ungerbeck. She'll touch first at 8:56.08, 8:57.92. For Ungerbeck, so starting to get a little more of a gap between the two as she gets ready. Oh, must be her getting close to her final lap. It's 10:19.05 is the record, or excuse me, 10:12.85 is the school record. 10:19.06 is her personal best. Her best this year is 10:39.19. So doesn't look like she's going to break the school record. She has picked up the pace a bit. Looks like she'll hit at roughly 10 minutes exactly. Rachel Payton in the lead. She's going to hit at 9 minutes, 57.82 seconds for her final lap. See if she'll have to get on her horse to beat her personal best. But she's going to control this and get the win. A phenomenal start for Carson-Newman. They've been pretty dominant in these first 3 races against a very, very good Lions swim program as Rachel Payton, not going to set her own personal best, but hey, she'll slide in at 10 minutes, 27.90 seconds. And that's actually puts her on the list with the 4th fastest time in school history. According to the record book, she passes Kaylee Grant, and she passes her own time set this year. So that's now the 4th fastest time in school history for Rachel Payton. 10 minutes, 27.90 seconds. Coming in second is Linda Ungerbeck, who held the 3rd fastest time and finished at 10:33.97. That's now the 5th fastest time in school history. So, hey, 2 top 5 times in school history set in this race. If you're Jordan Taylor, you absolutely love that. We have our final 3 swimmers from Emmanuel College finishing up here. Soon. It looks like Diaz will hit first. And she will. 11 minutes, 41.75 seconds. And I believe, oh, no, that's not a school record. I read the wrong thing. Not a school record, but hey, solid times. That's what you'll take here. But congrats to Payton and Ungerbeck setting new top 5 times, the 4th and 5th fastest times in school history. And here we go with the men's 1,000-yard freestyle. Lane 1, Jed Little of Carson-Newman. Lane 2, Michael Balicki of Emmanuel College. Lane 3, Casey Charles of Carson-Newman. Lane 4, Max Cummings of Emmanuel College. Lane 5, Adam Jones of Carson-Newman. And lane 6, Cody Eads of Carson-Newman. School record for the Lions in this event was set by Elder Oliveira in 2020, 9 minutes, 21.60 seconds for Carson-Newman. Record was set in 2019, 9 minutes, 17.33 seconds by Marcelo Figueiredo. And it looks like no top 5s have been set recently. The closest we got to top 5 was by Casey Charles, who is in lane 3 with his time of 9 minutes, 36.11 seconds in 2019. So he'll look to do so again today. Right now, pretty even between Charles, Balicki, and Little, all pretty even, along with Jones and Eads. Of course, you gotta love the symmetry, is what you'd call it, going from two of the longest races to two pretty short ones. 200-yard freestyle coming up next for our first break. and pretty much some pretty quick races. Only one race really with multiple heats. Going through the heat sheets in the early portion. Toward the end, we'll have some more with multiple heats. This is going to be a fairly quick meet and quick afternoon for the Lions and the Eagles. And they'll hope to make it quick in the pool. It's like a Little and Balicki going back and forth with the lead here. They both hit at about exactly the same time there. Little has a fingertip length ahead of Mr. Michael Balicki. Last time these two teams met in the men's side, had some controversy, had some interesting things happen. They met in February 2020 at a tri-meet with SCAD, and Carson-Newman got the win, but Emmanuel College got the men's win 131.5 to 130.5 because Carson-Newman was disqualified in the final relay. That took away 7 points, and the Lions got the win. An absolutely heartbreaking way to lose a meet. The men do lead 2-1 overall in the series, the Carson-Newman men, I should say. And the women's, Carson-Newman women, they're 3-0 over Emmanuel, winning last year 198 to 64. And right now, Carson-Newman early on controlling the pace of this one, but an interesting race early between Balicki and Little, as Balicki has pulled ahead a little bit of Jed Little. Balicki and Cummings for Emmanuel College have not recorded a time this year in this event. As you can see, when they get down to the end, there's a placard that has, the number of laps left for each respective swimmer. As the swimmer in lane 3 just got splashed by Casey Charles. That's dangerous getting down there. I was down there before the Mars Hill meet filming some highlights, and I had to take a step back because I was getting wet, and I do not need to help pay for a new camera. Charles is ahead of basically everybody right now. 5 minutes 64. 5 minutes flat with 0.64 seconds added on. But there's little placards I'm talking about. I don't know a whole lot about swimming. I never competed in swimming. And I believe it looks like they point to them. You maybe get a glimpse of how much you get. It might be one of those feel things. Not sure. Always wondered how that worked, but they do have the goggles on. And, of course, been in the water more than I ever have been in. So probably able to see those placards better, or at least get a look. I don't know who's in lane 3 for Casey Charles, but she has been getting slashed, and I feel bad. Let's see if she does it again. She sprints away now. Respect to those standing there, just constantly getting splashed. Does not sound like a fun time, especially if you do this twice in a row. That's about 20 minutes of just getting splashed, and you probably weren't ready to get wet yet. Folks, but Balicki's right behind him. I believe Balicki is As they see what's going on, Jed Little and Michael Balicki. It's Balicki and Little. Back and forth. Balicki has a slight lead. Little now with a lead. Inside fingertip lead for Little. Here's the turn. Great turn by both. Little trying to go. Both teams are up. Little, Balicki, back and forth, back and forth. Little's got a little bit of a lead. Little's got a lead. Jed Little, 9 minutes, 47.82 seconds. Jed Little wins the men's 1,000 by a fingertip. What a race. Him and Balicki going back and forth, back and forth. A new PR for Jed Little, and that is also the fifth fastest time in school history in the men's 1,000. Jed Little, have a day. What a race, folks. The marathon of swimming. Balicki comes in second, so close, and in third is Adam Jones with 9:48.56 as Max Cummings finishes up in the pool. My goodness. We knew we were going to see some excitement between these two teams. These are two of the best in the Southeast. And we have gotten it early thanks to Jed Little. Max Cummings is going to finish up here before we move on to the women's 200-yard freestyle. Women's 200-yard freestyle next. 3 racers for Emmanuel and 3 for Carson-Newman. Deborah Xavier in lane 1 for Carson-Newman. Jessica Pritchett in lane 2 for Emmanuel. Candy King in lane 3 for Carson-Newman. Lane 4 for Emmanuel, Gabriela Aguiar. Lane 5 for Carson-Newman, Summer Osborne. And lane 6 for Emmanuel, Valentina Alosio. School record was set for Carson-Newman back in 2018 by Margaret Stansberry, 1 minute 47.10 seconds. Emmanuel Packner was 4 seconds off in 2020. And meanwhile, for Emmanuel College, Carolina Ostachka set the record last year at 1 minute 51.70 seconds. As currently right now, it looks like you have Osborne and King going back and forth for the lead. Candy King won this, of course, a few weeks ago when she was named Bluegrass Mountain Conference Swimmer of the Week. In a close third, you have Jessica Pritchett from Emmanuel College. Osborne's pulled ahead a little bit now. with King in second and Pritchett in third. As they get ready to finish up, going to finish up here soon. Looks like the top two spots will belong to Carson-Newman. 1:55.47 by Summer Osborne. Second place will go to Candy King, 1:56.17 seconds. And in third, Jessica Pritchett, 1:57.76 seconds. Congrats to Summer Osborne on the win. Also a personal best for Summer Osborne. The men's 200-yard freestyle. Before we take our first break, Carson Jones in lane 1 for Carson-Newman. Patrick Thomas in lane 2 for Emmanuel College. Matthew George in lane 3. Archer Grieber for Emmanuel College, lane 4. Rafael Lima in lane 5. Alistair McGee in lane 6. School record held by Rafael Lima. 1:37.19 seconds. He holds 2 of the 5 fastest times. Matthew George and Caleb Howell also hold 2 of the fastest times in school history in this event. Lima looking to break his own record. See, it's at 22:78. That is Matthew George in the lead. So George and Lima of going back and forth. Lima looks like he's gotten a little bit of head. But a good turn gives Matthew George now a lead. Just 2 of the best athletes in Carson-Newman history, not just in Carson-Newman swimming history, going at it right now. And 47.65 seconds for Matthew George, 47.76 for Rafael Lima. That's how close it is. Lima gets ahead again. But George has been getting some good turns to break that down. Lima and George neck and neck. Let's see who hits first here. Now it's going to be Rafael Lima, 1:12.89 seconds. His own record is 1:37.19 seconds. That would be the beat, and Lima's pulled ahead. Lima has pulled ahead. And George is going to try to make up some ground, but Lima, I believe, is going to take this one. Will he get the record? Not quite. He'll finish 1:38.88 seconds to win it. That is the 4th fastest time in school history now. Belongs to Rafael Lima. 1:40.31 seconds for Matthew George. So now Rafael Lima holds 4 of the top 5 fastest times in school history in the men's 200-yard freestyle. Looks like we're going to take, right now we're going to take a 10-minute break, I believe. 10-minute break, I believe. We'll get you a score update real quick from the MSAC pool. Quick break here between both of these schools. Get you a score update. Brian White, always working hard. Hardest working swim GA in the Bluegrass Mountain Conference, as I like to tell him. course, after this break, we'll have the women's and men's 100-yard backstroke. We got a lot of fast races coming up, folks. Yeah, 100-yard races. Yeah, this next section is all 100 or 50-yard races, except for the women's and men's 200-yard butterfly sandwiched in between. So, speed, 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 baby. Speed is what I've got the need. I'd also thank our crew today setting this up, getting all of this ready for streaming. The scores are being calculated. Looking to hopefully get those scores to you soon. We'll check and see on that. If not, we'll get those at our earliest availability. We are sitting up here above in the balcony area where normally fans would be seated, but of course, with the COVID, no fans allowed for the moment. Carson-Newman Swim. There will be a small section of fans allowed next weekend for the meet against Lees McRae. That will be senior day next Saturday at 1 o'clock. Let me pull up to give you the exact fan attendance. Yeah, 30 will be the attendance. Members of family will be allowed. Carson-Newman swimmers, parents, family members, Carson-Newman swimmers, 2 per swimmer. Individuals must be on the pass list 1 week prior to game day. Then the RSVP with Bria McConnell. And no visiting fans are permitted. So your score update through 6 events. Total score, Carson-Newman leads 89-21. In the men's, Carson-Newman leads 45-10. And the women's, Carson-Newman leads at 44-11. We'll be back here in just a little bit. Keep it locked here on the Eagle Sports Network. You're watching Carson-Newman Swimming. ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at the MSAC pool. As our first break is over, Carson-Newman leads overall 89-21. In the men's, the Carson-Newman Eagles lead 45-10, and the women and Carson-Newman lead Emmanuel College 44-11. As we get ready for the women's 100-yard backstroke. Nally Burnett holds the school record at Carson-Newman, 54.27 seconds, set all the way back to 2015. Ruth Hewlett, Mania Wagner, and Mary Northcutt have all come close last year with the second, third, and fifth fastest times in school history. For Emmanuel College, Carolina Ostachka with the school record set last year at 58.74 seconds. So we get ready to run down these lanes. And here we go with the women's 100-yard backstroke. Kylie Kutcher in lane 1. Kyla Blakemore in lane 3. And Meredith Ginn in lane 5 for Carson-Newman. For Emmanuel College, Jessica Pritchett in lane 2. Zana Malinowska in lane 4. And Samantha Davidson in lane 6. After the first turn, it looks like Kyla Blakemore is in the lead. With Kutcher, now taking the lead was Meredith Ginn. Meredith Ginn has the lead at 27.87 seconds. Record set all the way back in 2015. This is one of the few records on the women's side that has stood for longer than 3 years. And it will continue to stand. Yes, it will. 57.95 seconds. For the win is Meredith Ginn. In second place, 59.62 seconds is in lane 3. Kyla Blakemore. And taking third in lane 1, Kylie Kutcher. So a sweep of the podium for the Eagles in the women's 100-yard backstroke. As quick as they started, ended, folks. Said we got a bunch of quick races coming up for you as we now get ready for the men's 100-yard backstroke. Rose, Raymond, and Collins for Carson-Newman. Graber, Mendez, and Malden for Emmanuel College. Andre Unger with the school record in 2020 with 46.57 seconds for Carson-Newman. However, Chase Raymond has the 5th and 4th fastest times. He set the 4th fastest time 2 weeks ago against Marcel, 49.97 seconds. Raymond ahead of everyone by a lot. Let's just put it simple. Chase Raymond is most likely going to win this race as he has just pulled ahead and is flying down the lanes. We'll see if Raymond can maybe break this record. It's going to be close. He's not quite going to break it, but he can set another top 5 time if he gets there, and he will be just short. Oh, man. 50.12 seconds. The 5th place time was 49.99 seconds, but Chase Raymond, absolute domination in the 100-yard back. And we'll get ready now for the 100-yard breaststroke, starting with the women. You look at the record book for women's 100-yard breast. As they get ready to dive in. Look at the record book. Maggie Melhorn's at the record in 2018, 1 minute, 1.14 seconds. Kaylee Morgan has the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th best times. She is not racing this today, unfortunately. So they come back up, and it looks like lane 3, Crispin Rand in the lead. Followed closely, yes. Rand will hit first. She's followed closely by Julia Simeone. Simeone, the record book was written for her, folks, at Emmanuel College. Holds the school record in the 100-yard breast, 1 minute, 5.01 seconds. She holds 3 more records and is a member of 2 record-breaking relay teams. So this is going to be a fun battle. Let's see if Rand can hold her off. Rand looking to hold her off. And Simone gets the win. Julia Simone for Emmanuel College. First win for the Lions today. At the last minute, 0.30 seconds. She won that by a time of 1 minute, 1 minute, 6.58 seconds. Rand comes second at 1 minute, 6.88 seconds. So the first win of the day for Emmanuel College comes from their best swimmer, Julia Simeone. Here's the men's 100-yard breaststroke. So a big win for the Lions there. That's their first win of the day. And you got to see if it'll be a confidence booster for this Lions team. Now relax, get ready for the men's 100-yard breaststroke. Diamantidis, Clemmer, and Castellas in for Carson-Newman, Santos, Cummings, and Lane for Emmanuel College. Andre Roman holds the school record at 54.74 seconds for Carson-Newman in this event. And a quick lead now for João Santos. But he is neck and neck. He hits at 25.48, 25.64. That belongs to Diamantidis. And at 27.16 behind him is Joey Clemmer. So Santos trying to pull away, and he has about a headspace length away. Oh, not a great turn. Not a great turn. That will give Diamantidis some time to catch up. Neck and neck. I still think about a head length away is Santos. And Santos going to keep going, and that will do it. Joao Santos, second straight win for Emmanuel College, 55.34 seconds. And the Lions get another win. He holds the school record at 52.77 seconds. So the two arguably best swimmers, quote unquote, currently on this team and in the record book show why they're so good. Congratulations to Santos and Simeone as they get their first wins of the day for the Emmanuel Lions. We head to the women's 200-yard butterfly. Both Payton sisters in this one. Rebecca in lane 1, Rachel in lane 6, Cecile Jensen in lane 3. And two Emmanuel College racers, Diaz in lane 2 and Natalie Hayes in lane 4. School record for the Lions as they look to win their third straight event and crawl back into this one. Is held by Natalie Hayes, 2 minutes, 4.05 seconds. Hayes in lane 4 for Carson-Newman. Lexi Rabin with 2 minutes, 2.06 seconds. CJ Jensen with time 2, 3, and 4, and Rachel Payton with time number 5. All of those have been set in the last 2 years. And right now, at the turn, that is CJ Jensen with a pretty substantial lead on the competition. Some time made up by Natalie Hayes, however, has gotten her slightly closer. Jensen's second best time is 2 minutes, 2.12 seconds, set in 2019. And she set the third and fourth fastest times in 2020. Now she has pulled ahead by a large margin. CJ Jensen just absolutely dominating this race. Interesting battle for third and between Hayes and Rachel Payton in lanes 4 and 5. As Rachel Payton's now pulled ahead of Natalie Hayes. So that'd be also a big confidence booster for Carson-Newman again to come back and see if you can get the top 2 times after just coming very close in the last 2 races. We'll look and see. This is a very good time. 2 minutes, 4.22 seconds. That is going to be good enough for the now 4th fastest time in school history. So now the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th fastest times in school history in the women's 200 fly are held by CJ Jensen. And she won that race by about 5 seconds. Smoked everyone out of the pool in that one. Congrats to CJ Jensen on the huge win as she keeps climbing up the leaderboard in the female 200 fly. Tillip, Lanuza, and Williams for Carson-Newman. Morera and Mendez for Emmanuel College in the men's 200-yard butterfly. Matthew George with the fastest time. School record time in 2018, 1 minute 48.45 seconds. Ivo Kunzel came close in 2020. Nicholas Lanuza, who is in this race, has the 5th fastest time at 1 minute 52.91 seconds. And for Emmanuel College, Pedro Terres set the record back in 2017. This record stood for almost 4 years now. 1 minute, 45.86 seconds for the Lions. Looking up at the turn here, and Lanuza flying. Once again, has a huge lead, just like C.J. Jensen. Saw C.J. Jensen and said, I bet I can do that too. This man just unreal, the length. I think he's just trying to beat his own record, see if he can climb up the totem pole, get some faster times. You hear the encouragement from his teammates here. Just a big lead. My goodness. The first competitor just turned again. That was Zach Tellep from Carson-Newman. That's rolling. He looks like he's not going to beat Matthew George's record here. He'd have to pick up the pace, but he can get a good top 5 time. It's going to be close to get that top 5 time. Remember, he's at 1:52.91, is the 5th fastest in school history. And he's going to have to pick up a pace about 8 seconds away from that. Gonna keep going, gonna go. Can he beat this top 5 time? I don't think he will. Yes, he will. 1 minute, 51.85 seconds. New personal best. And that actually is the 3rd fastest time in school history. Passes Josh Grover, set in 2016 at 1:52.17. So Nick Lanuza with the 4th fastest time in school history in the men's open 200 fly and takes the win by almost 8 seconds. My goodness. And folks, he's considered one of the slower legs on one of the relay teams. So here we go, our first event with 2 heats coming up. As it looks like we're going to change out some of the score systems here at the pool. We may have a little malfunction. We're going to have 2 heats, the women's 50-yard freestyle. And then we'll have a heat of the men's 50-yard freestyle before taking our second break of the afternoon. There will be 3 swimmers in the first heat, all from Carson-Newman: Grace Pessamere, Natalia Amano, and Caitlin Toussaint. And in heat 2, it'll be Deborah Xavier, Laura Sankowski, and Anna Tudor for Carson-Newman, while Aubrey Ortman, Jessica Pritchett, and Carmen Arnold will race for Emmanuel College. As referees and Jordan Taylor look like they're going to get those timing mechanisms, I believe, they have in the pool set and ready to go. It actually looks like we have a late entrant here into the women's 50-yard free. Or excuse me, she's going back. She's in the second heat. Yes, they are checking those timing signals, making sure those work on the board in the pool. And are ready to go. And we are ready to go with the heat 1 of the women's 50-yard freestyle. Natalie Burdett with the school record, 22.95, set in 2015. All 3 of these times were set at the orange and blue meet last week for these competitors, so they do not count for the regular season. This is their first regular season times. That will be set. Amano currently in first, followed by Pessamere, and then followed by Toussaint. And then they'll finish up here. 25 seconds, 25.20 seconds for Natalia Amano. So that's the pace set. Natalia Alano's 25.20 seconds. That's what the second heat will have to beat. Xavier, Sankowski, and Tudor for Carson-Newman, Ortman, Pritchett, and Arnold for Emmanuel College. 25.20 seconds, the time to beat. As they dive in. And coming up first was Carmen Arnold of Emmanuel College, but she's right behind Anna Tudor. Then you have Laura Sankowski kind of neck and neck as they go back. Here we go. We're going to see. And now you got Deborah Xavier pulling up real quick. 25:20 is the time to beat to win this event, and it will be 24-14 by Laurel Sankowski. That wins the event and the heat. So how about that? And the Eagles got the top 3 times as well. So we get ready for the men's for the Yard Freestyle. I believe there will be a break after this. Yes, there will be a break after this. So men's for the Yard Freestyle. Mewison, Pusevich, and Jones for Carson-Newman. Thomas, Dantas, and Malden for Emmanuel College. 19.86 seconds is the record for Carson-Newman. They'll dive in. This is going to be one of the quickest races you'll see today. First one outside the water is in lane 4. That belongs to Igor Bretis Dantas. It's Dantas and Pusevich back and forth. Pusevich and Dantas. Who's going to get there first? Who's going to get the win? And that will belong to Nikita Pusevich. 20.53 seconds, 20.68 seconds in seconds. In second, Igor Dantas. Like I said, quick race, baby. Speed kills and speed thrills. And Nikita Pusevich gets the win. And we're going to have a quick break once again. We'll get a score update from Brian White, hopefully here. So, man, exciting. Our final races before these breaks have been very exciting. We had Jed Little win his race in the 200-yard freestyle. Excuse me, the 1,000-yard freestyle was very exciting. And then in the 50-yard freestyle, exciting race between Pusevich and Dantas. So, quick break here, and we'll get back to you with the 100-yard freestyle, the 200-yard backstroke, 200-yard breaststroke, 500-yard freestyle, and then we'll take our final break after those events with the 100-yard butterfly, 200-yard IM, 200-yard freestyle relay, all left on the meet program. Glad y'all could join us this afternoon. It's been very exciting times here. Emmanuel College gets their first 2 wins of the meets. To start off that second break, build some momentum, and Carson-Newman, fortunately for the Eagles, able to hold them off a little bit, get some top times. So we'll have to see how the Lions did in those following events. Remember, fans, next week, the swim team will take on Lees McRae for Senior Day. Only parents of the athletes will be able to attend. You can view how to do so on cneagles.com for our attendance policies, not only for swimming starting next weekend, but for the rest of the sports here at Carson-Newman, including our spring and now the fall sports that we play in the spring, such as volleyball, football, and men's and women's soccer. We are glad that we will hopefully be able to have some fans here for these events, especially the parents of these competitors, for all the sacrifices they made as well. Brian White has gone down to get us a score update, and we appreciate him. He is the SID for swimming here at Carson-Newman University. Also covers women's soccer and tennis, who will get going in the next month. A lot of things happening here at Mossy Creek. You can check that out at cneagles.com. Our composite calendar is constantly filling up, folks. And it is full from February to April. Going to be some fun times here in Jefferson City, and we are excited to be able to do that. Don't forget, tomorrow we got a selection of runners from the track and field team, some distance runners heading to Birmingham, being the KMS Open, including Rachel Strayer, who competed at the 2019 NCAA Cross Country Championships. No cross country season this year for the Eagles due to COVID-19, but glad to see those distance runners probably set some times. A great interview with Luke Greer is available on YouTube at the Eagles Sports Network on YouTube and on Facebook and Twitter. Go check that out. And then, of course, Monday, basketball is back. Women are on the road at Anderson at 5:30. Michael Watering on the call. That one will be available online, audio only, at 5:30 p.m., while the men are at home this Monday against the Limestone University Saints, newcomer to the conference. As Brian White gives me the score updates, the gap's been closed a little bit, but not by a whole lot from Emmanuel College. Carson-Newman leads the composite score 197-65. The men lead 98-33, while the Carson-Newman women lead 99-32. So gaps closed slightly, but Carson-Newman able to hold off the Lions. We'll be right back with our third section of races here at the MSAC Pool. You're watching Carson-Newman Swimming on the Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back here to the MSAC pool as we get ready. Third section, the women's 100-yard freestyle. I'll check and see what the score record held by Margaret Stansberry. In 2016, Manny Compagner in second. Best time in school history. As we get ready to go, our crew getting set here for the 100-yard freestyle. Osborne, King, and Rand for Carson-Newman. Aguiar, Arnold, and Davidson for Emmanuel College. Longer races will be in this section, including finishing up with the 500-yard freestyle for both the men and the women. So, some longer races here. Some more time to sit back, relax, and watch some great swimming action. If you missed out on any of the events, you can follow at CNAthletics on Twitter for some of your favorite clips, and the highlights will be on YouTube later this afternoon and evening. Carolina Ostachka holds the score record at 52.05 seconds for Emmanuel College. Women's 100-yard freestyle. First out of the water is Chrisman Rand. First to turn is Kennedy King. Kennedy King, of course, a former Bluegrass Mountain Conference swimmer of the week 2 weeks ago. Summer Osborne also having a good time, and Summer Osborne hit second, I believe. Yes, she did. 25.27 is the leading time by Kennedy King. And it looks like it's coming down between King and Osborne. And Carson-Newman is going to take the top three, but Kennedy King is going to take number one spot, 52.90 seconds for Kennedy King. Let's have a men's 100-yard freestyle. Meyer, Lima, Jakob, and Tadek for Carson-Newman. Dantas and Thomas for Emmanuel College in a men's 100-yard freestyle. They'll go in school record. Andre Unger, 43.66 seconds. Lima with the second and third fastest times in school history as he is in the lead. In front of Dantas. So Igor Dantas and Rafael Lima meeting again. And Lima pulling ahead of Dantas. Makes the turn, and Lima. Let's see what time he can get. Rafael Lima absolutely crushing it in the men's 100-yard freestyle. 44.71 seconds, the 5th fastest time in school history. So the top 3 times are now held by Rafael Lima. Rafael Lima still showing why he is one of not just the best in Carson-Newman history, but in the nation. And now it's time for the 200-yard backstroke. We'll start with the women. Blakemore, Jensen, and Amano for Carson-Newman. Hayes, Ortman, and Pritchett for Emmanuel College. Women's 200-yard backstroke. School record for Carson-Newman was set all the way back in 2014. The first year competition by Amanda Henderson, 2 minutes, 2.19 seconds. Ruth Hewlett got close in 2020 with a time of 2 minutes, 4.56 seconds. And Summer Osborne has the 5th fastest time, 2 minutes, 5.28 seconds. But no one's come close, really, since 2015 when Margaret Stansberry did so. 2 minutes, 2.48 seconds. And as of right now, CJ Jensen just looks so calm and collected when she came up. And she still does, despite a good run by Blakemore in lane 1. Hayes is not competing in this event for Emmanuel College, so the lone lion in the pool, or excuse me, 2 lions are in the pool, Orchman and Pritchett. But calm and collected is C.J. Jensen. Jensen's personal best is 2 minutes, 2.99 seconds. She's currently at 1 minute, 32.04 seconds. She actually has the 3rd fastest time in the female 200 back. CJ Jensen looks like she's going to come close to a record. Maybe not quite, but that's the 3rd fastest time in school history. And she did it looking so calm and collected. Not a whole lot of excitement there because she was just, you know, ahead of everybody. 2 minutes, 3.06 seconds. CJ Jensen, 3rd fastest time in school history in the back. So congrats to her. We've seen a lot of top 5 times set, and people have come close to some records, but no one has gotten one quite yet today, as you will see Jessica Pritchett finishing up in lane 6 for Emmanuel College. Raymond and Rose for Carson-Newman. Malden and McGee for Emmanuel College. Men's 200-yard backstroke, 1:45.19 is the school record set by Paul Unger in 2014. And if you look at the record for Emmanuel College, Tiago Rosa to the record in 2018, 1 minute 47.55 seconds. And right now, Raymond is ahead of everybody. Just absolute dominance right now by that young man in lane 3. But here comes a charge in lane 1. And that competitor's not listed on the heat sheet. We'll have to see who that could be. Can't quite tell from up here. It was not listed on the heat sheet. So we're not sure who that is in lane 1. He is from Carson-Newman. He's currently in the lead and is looking very well right now. He is way ahead of Chase Raymond right now. So again, not sure who the competitor is in lane 1, but he's got the lead right now. Not sure exactly who that could be. Oh man, gotta love that. Gotta love technology. But he's way ahead of Chase Raymond. That's all we know. And it looks like if his time counts, he will get the win. We'll have to see who this is. And he'll take first. But again, not sure who the competitor is. Hopefully Brian White can get me some clarification on this. Raymond finishes second with a time of 1 minute 55.12 seconds. Finishing third in lane 5 is Jack Rose of Carson-Newman. So the top 3 spots once again taken by the Eagles. So we'll get some clarification on that. I apologize for that, folks. He was not listed on the heat sheet I was given to me. But it's time for the women and men's 200-yard breaststroke. Chadwell, Ginn, Carroll for Carson-Newman, Ortman, Simeone, and Alosio for Emmanuel College. 200-yard breaststroke. Maggie Melhorn holds the school record for Carson-Newman at 2 minutes, 13.09 seconds in 2018. Kaylee Morgan, Meredith Ginn, and Kaylee Morgan again had top 5 times in 2020. So Meredith Ginn with the third fastest time in school history at 2:19.21. See if she can beat that right now. She is in the lead for Emmanuel College. Julia Simeone, hey, she holds another school record, 2 minutes, 23.66 seconds. She won the 100-yard breaststroke, if you remember. That was the first win for Emmanuel College. They would win the men's 100-yard breaststroke with João Santos winning that one. The 2 wins they've had so far today. But right now, it is all Meredith Ginn at her home in the MSAC pool. Hold on a second. Some time was made up there by Simeone. I think Ginn kind of sensed that a little bit because she came up out of the water a little bit earlier and started pulling all the strokes. But she should be fine here. Some good push-offs by Simeone. It's kind of kept her in this one. A little bit slow on that turn, and that might cost her any time she could have made up. It's going to cost Simeone. So Ginn is going to win this one pretty well. See if she can beat her time of 2:19.21. Not going to beat that time, but she's going to win the heat and win the race. And hey, that's all you can ask for your team to do. Meredith Ginn wins it. 2 minutes, 26.33 seconds. Emmanuel College is going to get second and third at 2:33.57 for Simeone Aloisio, 2 minutes, 34.17 seconds. So first time I think we've seen Carson-Newman not have the majority on the podium of first, second, and third today. So that's going to give you some confidence if you're Emmanuel College. And the men's 200-yard breaststroke coming up next. Diamantidis, Clemmer, and McDowell for Carson-Newman. Santos, Cummings, and Lane for Emmanuel College. School record is 1 minute, 57.05 seconds at Carson-Newman. They'll go in here, and remember Santos won the 100-yard breaststroke in an exciting race. Right now, he has fallen behind. Right now, excuse me, he's neck and neck with Joey Clemmer and Thanos Diamantidis. But also close by, you got to look far lane, Benaya McDowell. Touching first will be Joey Clemmer. So he's got about a head of the lead now over Santos, with Thanos Diamantidis snapping to second place. Diamantidis kind of building up here, trying to get that third spot if he can. Clemmer hits first, and Diamantidis, or excuse me, don't forget about McDowell over in lane 5. Benaya McDowell's made up a lot of time. Now he's in the second position. Now third. They have Eagles in the top 3. Clemmer pulling away for first place. McDowell in second, Diamantidis in third. Diamantidis now has pulled into second. So Diamantidis and Clemmer both fighting for spots 1 and 2. We'll have to see. It's going to be Diamantidis getting the win. The freshman with the win. 2 minutes, 12.81 seconds in first place as Cummings will finish up his lap in sixth place. So we're going to get ready for the 500-yard freestyle. But congratulations to Fanos Diamantitas. You know, it was inevitable that he would win. And he went for the head and got a head blink and pulled away. What a marvel. So the 500 freestyle coming up. Young, Ungerbeck, and Grant for Carson-Newman, Diaz, Shinker, and Malinowska for Emmanuel College. School record for the Eagles, Lexi Raybon, set in 2016, and it has stood since then. The closest anyone's come recently, Rachel Payton in 2020. The second fastest time is 2014 by Nancy Claire Smith, and by Linda Ungerbeck, tied it in 2019. She has the third, so that's a tie for second right now. Ungerbeck will look to see if she can break that tie. That's a 7-second difference, almost. Very interesting to see what she can do. Right now, she is in second behind Kaylee Grant. This is the longest race we have left for today. And after the men's 500-yard freestyle, we will take our final break of the afternoon to prepare for our final 5 events. The final 6 events. Those final events are the women's and men's 100-yard butterfly, the women's and men's 200-yard IM. There will be 2 heats of the 200-yard IM, and the women's and men's 200-yard freestyle relay. Ungerbeck and Grant neck and neck here, but Ungerbeck pulls ahead a little bit. You also have to wonder with those boards, I think there's some conversation about that. Keeping track of how many laps they have left, that is one of the hardest parts of this. Because you may be off and you may throw them off by proxy by having the event not having the wrong number up. So that's a lot harder job than some people may think. Some people may think, oh, you're just flipping numbers. Well, you gotta think about that, and you don't want to throw off your teammate. It's a big, symbiotic relationship between the two to make sure you get it right. Kind of like a quarterback and his receivers on routes, or a point guard and his forwards knowing drills when to pass the ball, when to give it up, or when to shoot. And Ungerbeck pulling ahead now, really of everybody. She's going to hit here with about, let's say 3 minutes, 7.70 seconds. She is ahead of everybody by a substantial amount. Again, the second fastest time in school history, tied with Nancy Claire Smith. She said that in 2019, trying to see if she can maybe break that tie and get the solo possession of second fastest. No one has flinched as much on the splashing as I've seen as in the 1,000. Of course, I feel like in the men's 1,000 and in just the men's races in general, they just tried to beat the water out of the way. So you get a lot more splashing. You compare C.J. Jensen's very relaxed backstroke to the men's race. A lot more splashing involved in that one. And for Jensen, as the final laps coming up for Linda Ungerbeck, she's going to hit at 4 minutes, 44.52 seconds. Going to have to get on her horse. Break a record, and there she goes. She does start picking up some speed, going quicker. She wants to get a great time. Unfortunately, not going to tie her second best mark, but still a great time for her. Just absolutely pulled away from everybody and did it early and didn't look back. Linda Ungerbeck, 5 minutes, 15.70 seconds. Outstanding performance for her in the women's 500-yard freestyle. Coming in second is her teammate, Kaylee Grant, 5 minutes, 24.94 seconds. That was very tight at the beginning between the two. And third at 5 minutes, 41.94 seconds is Diaz from Emmanuel College. Little, George, and Halton for Carson-Newman. Balicki, Cummings for Emmanuel College. School record was set by Matthew George in 2019, 4 minutes, 26.26 seconds. As Jed Little and Balicki had one of the most exciting races in the 1,000 earlier today. Those two are neck and neck for second right now as Matthew George has pulled ahead. And then you also have Will Halton coming in hot. George holds the record and also holds the third fastest time in school history at 4 minutes, 28.57 seconds. He set that in 2020 up at Queens. It was one of the top plays of the Eagle Sports Network for the months of November and December. New top 10 will be coming out, by the way, this Monday afternoon on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So follow all those channels for Carson-Newman Athletics and the Eagle Sports Network. Check out where your favorite swimmer ended up in the top plays. Exciting plays from men's basketball, women's basketball, track, and swimming for the month of January as we start to get back into the flow a little bit with sports. Trust me, there will be plenty of sports coming up in February and March here in Mossy Creek. We got a good battle between Balicki and George right now. Little's kind of falling behind a bit. Balicki and George, a fun battle. See if it's as fun as Jed Little. Jed Little does get a good push off. It kind of goes kind of slow on the turn. And over in lane 5, Will Halton still doing pretty well for himself. About a half-second lead for Matthew George still in the earlier parts of this race. So we're getting close to the halfway mark. Don't forget, after this, we'll take our final break of the afternoon. And we'll have the women's and men's 100-yard butterfly. the 200-yard IM. There'll be 2 heats of that for the men, and then the 200-yard freestyle relay. George still ahead of Balicki. Balicki trying to make up. He has made up a bunch of time on that turn. And it's a close battle now, a lot closer. George was about a head length ahead. George will hit first, 2 minutes, 48.26 seconds, 2 minutes, 49.56 seconds. So still about a second ahead. Balicki tries to make up ground, and George is able to just pull away. Once again, Balicki makes up some ground on that turn, and George, as you see right here, has got that closing speed where he can just pull away. This time not as far ahead, but still a good length ahead of Michael Balicki. Good battle for third as well between Little, Cummings, and Halton. And George now pulling ahead now. He's about a body length ahead of Balicki. That's what you want. You don't need to come. If you can come out and dominate from the get, go right ahead. But if you can come out and just pull away, that's what you need to do. Final lap for George and Balicki. George about 2 body lengths ahead now. Matthew George has turned it on here. And he's not going to beat his record, but he's going to win this one by considerable margin. Matthew George wins it 4 minutes, 39.47 seconds. Wins by 6 seconds almost in that one. Third place is Will Halton. So top 3, 2 of the top 3 spots belong to Carson-Newman to finish up our third section of the day. So we get ready for our final break, final section. We'll have a final score update, and we'll get back to you soon for the women's and men's 100-yard butterfly Legal Sports Network. As we have Max Cummings finishing up his time in the 500 here. And we're going to take our final break of the afternoon. Get you a Brian White final score update soon. Once again, thank you for joining us today. Normally, we would have done a look-in at the men's and women's basketball games at Newberry today, but unfortunately, both games are canceled due to COVID issues with Newberry College. Basketball will be back this Monday. The women are on the road at 5:30 against Anderson. Michael Watchering will be on the call there, and the men will be at home at 6 o'clock against Limestone University, the newcomer to the SAC from Conference Carolinas. And, of course, tomorrow as well, we have 5 distance runners heading off for track and field to Birmingham to the KMS Open. Rachel Strayer among those, as well as is Raymond Brugmans and a trio of freshmen headed down there with Luke Greer. And also this Wednesday, Football National Signing Day. It's here. We'll have all the details at cneagles.com. The new squad coming in 2021 for Coach Mike Clowney be revealed at cneagles.com and all over the Twitter sphere, Instagrams. Follow all of those. And then this weekend, swimming has their senior day this Saturday at 1 o'clock. While there'll be a basketball doubleheader, women at 2 o'clock against Queens, men at 4:30 against Catawba. And that will be broadcast live on the Eagle Sports Network. Also got games on Wednesday. Women on the road at 5:30 against Wingate. Men at home at 6 against Anderson. You can follow that along cneagles.com. Also, you have our Mossy Creek Minute. Every Monday, Danielle Whaley gives you a breakdown of everything going on here in Mossy Creek as we get ready for the week ahead and look back at the week that was. And this month, since it's the end of the month, Eagle Sports Network Top 10 Plays, hosted by yours truly. It's January. Ren Dyer was all over the top plays. Let's see where he falls. Plus top plays from women's basketball, track and field, and swimming. That'll come out Monday afternoon. We have a final score update. Our current score update, not a final yet, but it may as well be one. Carson-Newman pulling away 314-98 in the overall score. For the men's score, the Carson-Newman men lead 155-51, women 159-47. So we'll take one more break, folks, and we'll be back with the women's and men's 100-yard butterfly. As we close out here, Carson-Newman looks to close out another victory at the MSAC pool. You're watching Eagle Swimming on the Eagle Sports Network. Welcome back to the Eagle Sports Network's presentation of Carson-Newman Swimming from the MSAC pool. As Carson-Newman, they're up big, folks. Should not be any doubt to the final, but if you're Emmanuel College, you can get some time set and get ready to go for your conference tournament in a couple of weeks. As we're back here with the women's 100-yard butterfly, Rebecca Payton, Sankowski, and Rachel Payton for Carson-Newman. Davidson, Arnold, and Hayes will be competing for Emmanuel College as we get set here to finish up today's meets. Emmanuel Compagner holds the school record for this event. She holds 3 of the top 5 times. Actually, the school record she holds is 53.27 seconds. The referees will look to get set. I believe they're checking on some equipment right now. Had some equipment issues, and we're good to go. So here we go. So get ready, 100-yard butterfly, the quickest race we have left on the docket. As they go in, it looks like Carmen Arnold had a quick lead and lost it to Sankowski. Samantha Davidson not racing in this race, or not participating in this race, excuse me. And Sankowski ahead by a good bit of Carmen Arnold. Sankowski just destroying it. You've seen this a lot today. Carson-Newman just gets big leads, and they hold on to those leads throughout the entirety of the race. And it's just one of those things where you're constantly having to battle back if you're Emmanuel College. They haven't been able to. It looks like they'll get the third place time at least, but that will be Sankowski getting first, 58.65 seconds. Second will be Rachel Payton at 9.69 seconds. Third is actually Natalie Hayes at 1 minute, 0.46 seconds. She made up a lot of time. Castells, Lanuza, and Williams for Carson-Newman. Graber, Morera, and Lane for Emmanuel College. Men's 100-yard butterfly. Lanuza set one of the top 5 times, beating his own record in an earlier race today. So he has had a heck of a day today, as he has the early lead in the men's 100-yard butterfly, just ahead of a couple of Lions, Morera and Graybear. And he has pulled ahead again. As we see, Nicholas Lanuza pulling ahead. School records 47.71 seconds. Don't know if he's going to beat that, but he is going to have a heck of a time today. Continuing a great day for Nicholas Lanuza, as he will win this thing by a good lead, 49.83 seconds. He won that race, folks, by roughly 4 seconds. Nicholas Lanuza has had a heck of a day, if nothing else. So we're going to move to the 200-yard intermedley. So here we go. 200-yard IM. Alosio, Simeone, and Ortman for Emmanuel College. Ginn and Sannett for Carson-Newman. Score record is set by C.J. Jensen in 2020, 2 minutes, 2.92 seconds. She also holds the 4th fastest time in school history as well. Meredith Ginn with the 3rd fastest time in school history, 2 minutes, 3.25 seconds. She'll look to break that as she takes the early lead. This will be the only heat in the women's 200-yard IM. There will be 2 heats of the men's 200-yard intermedley. The first heat is all Carson-Newman swimmers, so that'll just be kind of a pacing record to set. The only times recorded for those swimmers was by Benai McDowell and Cody Eads in an exhibition last week, of course, the orange and blue exhibition. And really the only time set for the men in the 200-yard IM is by Joey Clemmer. There are no times set for anybody in Heat 2, so it should be an interesting race. This one, Simeone and Alosio have no time set. Ginn, Sannett, and Ortman all have set a time in the 200-yard IM. Ginn with a pretty good lead. Simeone, of course, you can never count her out. She is, you know, the rocket for this Lions squad. Currently a good battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th between her, Sannett, and Ortman. They're all looking up at Meredith Ginn. And a push here in lane 6 by Ortman. Aubrey Ortman making a push has made this interesting. Trying to chase down Meredith Ginn. And I got a battle for 3rd as well. It's Ginn and Ortman coming down to the wire, and it will be Meredith Ginn winning it 2 minutes, 10.96 seconds. So that one got a little bit closer than everyone thought at the beginning. Aubrey Ortman made it up to time, 2 minutes, 11.49 seconds. Sneaky good race we had after looking like it was going to be another blowout. But Meredith Ginn gets the win. And now the men's 200-yard IM, heat number 1, features all Carson-Newman swimmers. Jones, McDowell, Eads, Hardenbrook, and Diamantidis for Carson-Newman in heat 1, the men's 200-yard IM. Saw a lot of these, if you were here for our meet with Wingate, saw a lot of these where to kind of set the pace, you'd see just one team go. Wingate had that a lot. They'd have 3 swimmers kind of set the pace, and then you'd have the heats that had multiple participants from multiple teams, that would end up pulling away and getting the win. So this is the only race, this is the second race today that's had heats. So I guess, Jordan Taylor wants to get some more experience for these guys as we get closer to conference, maybe get some better times so that they can set that pace and make it a lot better or more challenging for their opponents at the Bluegrass Mountain Conference Championships. Like we said, there's only 3 times recorded between the 11 racers that will participate in these 2 heats. 2 of them in this race. Benai McDowell recorded a time of 2 minutes, 1.94 seconds. Cody Eads with a time of 1 minute, 55.56 seconds, again in exhibition. And while this is against your teammates, just like that exhibition, little more pressure now that you've got, the cameras on, and you also have a team watching you that you will not see again this year. If you do see them, it would most likely be at the NCAA tournament, when the pressure is even higher. Send the pace, 1 minute, 30.10 seconds. That pace being set by Benaiah McDowell. As Benaiah McDowell just kind of pulling ahead, way ahead of everybody. Looking pretty good here. He had a slower time last week, and he's going to beat that time unofficially. So that time he set last week, that was really an unofficial time, 1 minute, 59.11 seconds. Only racer under 2 minutes in that section, and it kind of puts the pressure on heat number 2 to see if they can beat that. So the pace is set, 1 minute, 59.11 seconds. Joey Clemmer, the only recorded time here with 1 minute, 52.96 seconds for Carson-Newman. Meyer, Clemmer, and Raymond for Carson-Newman. Thomas, McGee, and Mendez for Emmanuel College. Record is 145.90 by Caleb Howell. Pace to beat, 1 minute, 59.11 seconds set by Benaiah McDowell. And right now, Chase Raymond is in the lead by about half a body. But a great turn by his teammate, Joey Clemmer, and Brandon Meyer has got them back into this one as well. And now, you look up, there is Chase Raymond. Just a body length ahead. That's how it's happened today, folks. Carson-Newman gets a big lead, and they hold on. Just kind of clamp down, and they use some of the racers who may not finish with the lead, may finish second or third. They're able to clamp down and get those points as well. Raymond is about at least 2 body lengths, maybe 2.5 ahead of the closest college swimmer. But in lane 1, you got some interesting developments with Brandon Meyer pulling up. So Brandon Meyer making this one interesting. Maybe a little smack talk between the two. As we get to the final leg of the 200-yard IM. And Raymond has pulled back ahead. But Meyer keeping this one interesting. We'll see Meyer or Raymond who's going to take the crown. 155.07, that belongs to Chase Raymond. And that is a very good time. That's enough to win the heat and the event, beating out Benaiah McDowell's time. Him and Meyer were the only two racers under 2 minutes. So Brandon Meyer, Benaiah McDowell, and Chase Raymond, the only racers under 2 minutes in the men's 200-yard IM. Very impressive for this Carson-Newman squad. And now it's time for the final two events, the women's 200-yard freestyle relay. So in lane 1, you have the Carson-Newman C team of Blakemore, Kutcher, Amano, and Sanit. Lane 2, you have the Emmanuel B team of Arnold, Aguiar, Shinker, and Diaz. Lane 3, the A team, Carson-Newman A team of CJ Jensen, Kennedy King, Summer Osborne, Crispin Rand. Lane 4, the Emmanuel College A team is not competing. Lane 5, Carson-Newman B team of Tudor, Sankowski, Xavier, Compagner. Lane 6, Carson-Newman D of Chadwell, Pessimir, Carroll, and Toussaint. So no A-team race for Emmanuel College, so their B team going to have to go up against the A team, B team, C team, and D team of Carson-Newman. And hey, they're keeping their own right now, as Carmen Arnold looking pretty good right now in the freestyle. But diving in now is in lane 5, that Carson-Newman B team. That was Laurel Sankowski. And Sankowski pulling away. My goodness. It's a huge lead on her teammate, too, but a good turn by Kennedy King. Kind of closes that gap a little bit, but here comes the third legs for both those teams. That's the A team and the B team racing against each other as expected. Knifing through the water right now is Deborah Xavier. But it's neck and neck between her and Summer Osborne. This looks like the orange and blue meet. Very competitive, very close together. They're just trying to get the best of each other. Now in lane 5, it has Mania Compagner pulling away from Crispin Rand. It's Rand and Compagner looking to see who can get there first, and it will be woo-hoo-hoo. It will be that B team. Time of 1 minute, 36.64 seconds. Just 4 seconds off the school record. So very, very good time. So the B team of Anna Tudor, Laurel Sankowski, Deborah Xavier, and Mannion Compagner get the win. And now it's time for the men's 200-yard freestyle relay. 6 lanes are full. Let's go through it. The Carson-Newman C team is in lane 1 with Pep Castells, Nicola Tadek, Daniel Jacob, and Chase Raymond. In lane 2, the Emmanuel College B team of Sebastian Mendez, Victor Lane, Arthur Graber, and Sam Malden. Lane 3, the Carson-Newman A team of Nikita Puzovic, Nicholas Lanuza, who has had a heck of a day, Chad Angelsek, and Rafael Lima, one of the fastest swimmers in Carson-Newman history. In lane 4, the Emmanuel College A team of Igor Bretas Dantas, João Santos, Michael Balicki, and Rodolfo Moreira. Lane 5, Carson-Newman B team of Brandon Meyer, Kevin Mewison, Carson Jones, and Will Halton. And finally in lane 6, the Carson-Newman D team of Zach Tellep, Jack Rose, Devon Collins, and Clay Hardenbrook. Lanuza, Lima, Balicki, Dantas, Pusovic, Raymond, and Mewison, who have all had great days today, will all be in the pool at some point, possibly at the same time, for this final event. What more could you ask for to close out today's matchup? Here we go. The most intense race of the afternoon, the men's 200-yard freestyle relay. One minute, 19.85 seconds is the school record set in 2020 by Pusevic, Lima, Zemturas, and Angelcek. 3 of those racers are on the same team today. And that A team, Pusevic, gets there first, and here comes Nicholas Lanuza. He's had a heck of a day, but coming up behind him, Victor Lane has made up some progress over in lane 4. Excuse me, that was João Santos has made up this progress. Santos and Lanuza going back and forth. This is how they were earlier. Here we go. It's close by 0.01 seconds is the lead for Carson-Newman. Angelcek pulling away. This is how they've won every race today, by just pulling away. And Angelcek has done that as we get ready. The fastest man at Carson-Newman, Rafael Lima, dives into the pool. He has got a great lead. If he can hold on to it, he'll have to stave off Sam Malden. And Lima is going to do just that. Rafael Lima is going to win the men's 200-yard freestyle relay with that Carson-Newman A team to close out the day. A 4-second win. Rafael Lima throws up the X because we're done here. Hasta la vista. Carson-Newman gets the dub. We want to thank y'all for tuning in for this exciting swimming action. We will get your final scores to you soon. Don't forget, folks, there's a lot going on in the next week for the Eagles. Not just in Mossy Creek, but abroad. Tomorrow, got 5 distance runners competing in Birmingham at the KMS Open. Monday, women's basketball at Wingate at 5:30. Men's basketball at home at 6 o'clock against Limestone. Wednesday, women's basketball once again on the road at Wingate, also at 5:30. Men are at home against Anderson. The next weekend, it's senior day for this swim program, 1 o'clock against Lees McRae, while basketball hosts a doubleheader, 2 o'clock. Women's basketball takes on Queens, 4:30 men take on Catawba. And how about this? Baseball is back. Doubleheaders on Saturday and Sunday against the Limestone University Saints in Gaffney, South Carolina, welcoming the Saints to the conference. A lot of action. Keep up with it at seeandeagles.com. Don't forget to watch Mossy Creek Conversations on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. A great interview from Adam Cavalier. We also have the Mossy Creek Minute tomorrow afternoon. Danielle Whaley on Instagram and Twitter will break down what happened this week in Mossy Creek and what's going to come up this week. And finally, the top 10 plays of the month. January comes to a close, but we have more than just all the top plays of Ren Dyer, even though you could probably fit those into a full-length episode of Mossy Creek Conversations. We'll have plays from women's basketball, track and field, and of course, Carson-Newman Swimming included. Follow all the action at cneagles.com. We appreciate you tuning in today as we get ready for our final score update soon from Brian White. A heck of a day for Nicholas Lanuza. Just tore up the competition today, as did, of course, the usual suspect, Rafael Lima. Big thank you from Carson-Newman to Emmanuel. Good luck to the Lions as they compete in the Conference Carolinas tournament. They break down the huddle. Emmanuel College is set for a good run in Conference Carolinas. This is a very fun team to watch. They have some athletes on that team. Final score brought to me by Brian White in a blowout, 392 to 129, a win for the Carson-Newman Eagles overall. In the men's side, the Eagles defeated Emmanuel 191 to 70. And on the women's side, absolute domination, 201 points for Carson-Newman to 59 for Emmanuel College. I'd like to thank our entire crew of Drew Udy, Riley Thomas, and Daniel Parker, as well as Danielle Whaley on replay and helping us set up, and our SID, Brian White. I'm Richard Martin. Thank you for watching. So long, good night, and go Eagles. Final score, 392 to 129. Carson-Newman dominates Emmanuel College. We'll see you back here for basketball on Monday on the Eagles Sports Network.